basketball fans from around the land. Do you need ass? It's the Fully Loaded Podcast.
So we've got a fantastic and a very big special guest today. The man himself, Rap Sheet, Ian Rapoport, is joining us today.
We got a jam-packed show.
Jam-packed.
Does he even sleep?
Yeah, does he? And how about that beef between him and PFT and Leroy the dog? Roof, roof.
He loves putting makeup on in the morning.
Yes,
so,
he
hey,
does.
I mean, he says he got a little weird obsession of it.
He did. And also, I want to know how many phones the guy has. Really, do you think he's got one for the, what's that song? I got two phones, one for the, we'll see. But I want to know also, who's the most famous person in that phone of his?
And how does he even break news?
Yeah, that is another good point, too. So before we get to the interview with the fantastic man himself, Ian Rapoport, be sure to follow us at Fully Loaded PC on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook. We've got our podcast outlets as well, which are
Spotify, Apple Music, Stitcher, Buzzsprout, YouTube, Twitch, anything you can think of, we're on.
You
so check
name
us
it,
out.
We're on it.
Right, check us out at www.fullyloadedpc.com. Check out our merch, our new blogs. Show the bloggers some love.
Yes, we've got some committed bloggers, and they're doing it right. We're doing it right, and we've got a big guest with this guy here. So let's get this thing going. Rapoport. Ian Rapoport is an NFL Network insider. You can follow him on Twitter at RapSheet. You can see Ian every Sunday on NFL Network's NFL Game Day morning at 9 a.m. Eastern. And I see you on Good Morning Football, too, all the time as well. So, Ian, how are you doing? Thanks for joining us today.
I'm good. I'm good. I appreciate the intro. Happy to be hanging out with you guys today. What's going on?
Nothing much. Hey, you're a busy guy, and you're a funny guy too. I was actually watching your Instagram. I've been watching your Instagram live streams. I watched it last night.
All right,
we love it. We love it.
They're good. You were drinking old fashioned. Yeah, see, you were drinking old fashioned with the cherries. Although I am a bartender, old fashioned is not my go-to. But
what's your go-to?
I'm more of like a Long Island type of guy. I like margaritas as well. I'm a big Patron guy.
Margaritas.
You like
margaritas are
Okay.
good.
Yeah.
Margaritas are very good.
Yeah, very good. Very good.
We've recently started drinking Clase Azul.
Okay.
Which would not be something you'd put in a margarita, but would be something you could just drink on the rocks. And as far as tequilas go, is top notch. But I do appreciate a good margarita. One thing that's happened with COVID is, my wife has started making, drinks like a bartender. So we've had quite a variety and sampled, like I think a lot of people, many drinks during this stupid pandemic.
For sure.
For sure.
100%. But okay, so we got a couple questions for you today because you're the man, you're the GOAT, you're the guy that we all have notifications on. I'm waiting for that next Ian Rapoport tweet. Hopefully it comes soon of something. But I want to first start off with a question going back to you. So about 5 to 6 months ago, your boys at Barstool, we're trying to get recognized by Barstool here, all right? So PFT and his dog Leroy broke some news of Rob Gronkowski. So I wanted to get your follow-up on that.
Kind of.
Okay, kind of. So I just want to get your follow-up on that and what your thoughts are and if you had anything to say to them in regards to that.
Yeah, I mean, that whole situation was ridiculous. I was generally annoyed by Leroy the dog. And I know it's just a dog, but the dog was wrong all the time. And so, 2 months before the news breaks that the Bucs are trading for Gronkowski, the dog says something about he may be coming back and then claims credit. Like, if it was a person and did that, I'd be like, are you kidding me?
Yeah.
But, of course, it's a dog. It's also fake. And some of the stuff ends up happening, but a lot of the stuff was wrong. And so I'm like, am I supposed to credit a dog? And then, of course, everyone from Barstool tweets at me like, you got to credit the dog. And I'm like, the dog didn't even have it.
Right.
If it's a reporter, you get beat on the story, you credit. But the dog didn't have it, just barely referred to it a couple months before. Anyway, I ended up retweeting the dog.
So they were saying you were salty. They were saying based off of his retweet, you said, "Great scoop, Leroy, on your game as usual." And then I don't know. I thought it was.
Yeah, I did not mean as usual. I meant not as usual because Leroy is often wrong.
Thank you. I wanted just to clear the air with that.
Dog.
Yeah, I wanted to clear that first before we got going with any other question because I want to get a reaction on the PFT and Big Cat, and so hopefully they can have some follow up with that because I'm a big rap sheet guy. All right, I know we'll talk about your rivals and all that. But I'm a rap sheet guy.
Yep.
So we wanted to just let that be known. All right, so go ahead.
So, in the light of the dog, how does the process of breaking news work? Do you what is something that goes through your mind, or how does it happen? What do you have to do to break a story, or like we were talking? Do you have the tweet saved in your draft or your drafts on Twitter, or how does that work?
I would say for a lot of times what happens is I'll catch wind of something like, hey, this is probably going down. Keep an eye on this, and then I'll get a tweet ready, put it in my drafts, or save it on my computer. So as soon as you get the word, you can just tweet it out.
Right.
And so, like, let's say contract negotiations, I'll have like a tweet ready and I'll keep adjusting the numbers based on what the deal's coming in as. And then when you get the go, you're just ready to roll. So it avoids typos.
Right. So are your thumbs going, or do you have like your computer like synced up to your Twitter, so you go on your laptop and like type it out? Because you tweet some heavy duty stuff sometimes. So I'm like, there's no way this guy's like actually.
Yeah, I mean, I have it on my computer.
Oh, that's dope. Okay.
I have it on my computer, and just like I have my text on my computer too.
Yeah.
So I would say most of my texting is done on the computer, just like most of my tweeting is done on the computer. But as far as how a story breaks, I mean, basically, I get a tip, I'll like process it, be like, all right, how feasible is this? And if let's say it's something that's worth checking on, which are a lot of things, I'll say, all right, who would possibly know? And so you kind of go down the list, like, who do I know that would know this? And it has to be someone who has deep knowledge, direct knowledge of whatever the situation is. And you basically go about making phone calls and seeing who knows what. And then if it's, crazy enough or important enough or big enough, when I get confirmation from, a direct source who's literally involved, or two sources or three sources or whatever it ends up being, I would, if it's big enough, like for the Gronk story, that he was coming back and getting traded to the Bucks, I called my editor and was like, here's what I got. Here's what I know. Here's how I can verify it. Just because, you don't like to catch your bosses off guard, and you like to get that sort of safeguard. So based on that, you tweet it out, and then if it's big enough, usually makes Twitter go crazy.
So off of you tweeting and you having phones, I think everyone that we know, and like I personally, I know also wants to know too, how many phones does Ian Rapoport have? Are you allowed to say that? How many phones you have? Like, is there 2, 3, 4?
I only have one.
Oh, okay.
Hold on one sec.
Oh.
A few moments later.
So I only have one phone, and I've never believed in needing two phones. First of all, I'm only one person, so how many phones can I talk on at a time, right?
Right.
I have text on my phone. I have Twitter. I have text on my computer. I have Twitter on my computer. And so I can get a text, tweet it on the computer as much as I can on my phone. So for me, like, I only have two pockets, and I got my wallet in one pocket. I'm a side wallet guy. I'm not a back pocket wallet guy.
Whoa!
So it's like,
wait, what? That is weird. That is, so you keep it.
Oh, it's not weird. It's great. I got a great sort of like side pocket wallet. It's fantastic.
Actually, that's good because you're in New York, right?
I don't want to be like George Costanza sitting on the wallet.
Yeah, good point. Good point. I mean, you don't want anyone like to pickpocket you either, too. That's another thing too, I guess. But no, I don't think anyone wants to be.
Yeah, it makes it less likely to pick. Plus, I slimmed down the wallet greatly.
Awesome.
That's a great. So anyway, I just have one phone, and believe me, that's more than enough.
Awesome.
Nice.
So how do you determine a source is like credible, or how does a source become a source, if that even makes sense?
Like, can I be a source?
Can we be a source?
Or no?
What do you guys know?
We not much,
Not
but
much.
we're
Probably not.
I can get you some Detroit Lions headlines.
Real stuff, actual real stuff.
Maybe.
So I would say the main way you become, the source starts with building a relationship. So you build a relationship, like it's really like dating. It's like you build a relationship, you kind of start the process of getting to know each other. You get the phone numbers, you basically just start almost like a friendship. And then the more you get, the more into the relationship you go. And at some point, maybe this person starts sharing some information, or if it gets like a good enough relationship, when they have info, they come to you if you're their guy. Or at the least, they become someone who, when you hear something, you can bounce it off of and be like, hey, is this true? Here's what I hear. And then the other thing is, they sort of have to prove reliability too. Like if they give you something and they keep giving you things and it keeps not panning out, at some point you go, you're not really a source.
Right.
Now, do you ever not?
Both of our time.
If somebody gives you falsified information or wrong information, do you cut them out immediately, or do you give them another chance, or how do you go about that? Or is that just how you feel the intensity of the information?
I mean, I would say about 6 years ago, I had someone give me false information on purpose, as this person said, to see if I would go with it, and I didn't talk to that person for 5 years.
Wow.
So
they since apologized sincerely, and I now talk to this person again, but I'm also very wary of their information. But, honesty in this business is really the most important thing. So I'd rather someone say like, hey, I can't help, as opposed to, I know this and it turns out not to be true. Like, I'd rather someone say, look, like I'm going to stay out of this, or I can't be your source in this or whatever, than lie to me. So when someone lies or gives me bad information, that's not something I take very lightly.
So let's talk about like the rival. Like, is there a rival between you, Schefter, and like Glazer? Like, do you guys like have like a group chat where you're just like, oh, like all the insiders like come together? Like, do you guys share the same sources? No. Okay. All right.
I'm sure we do share a lot of the same sources.
Okay.
There's not that many people who know, but there's no group chat.
Okay.
I respect those guys a lot. It's serious and it's intense,
Yeah,
so
for sure.
When it's
your job.
When it's serious, I mean, when it's serious and intense, there's not that much joking around. I mean, when we see each other at events, it's cordial. I know there's, I know there's mutual respect, but it's, and we're fine. I mean, it's all professional,
right,
but I would not say we're friends kind of joking around. It's tough to be when there's really only two of you.
Right. Yeah. That's I mean, because everyone knows there's two people, really big people in NFL. It's Schefter and it's Rapoport. So I mean, like that's really it. There's no like, I mean, Glazer too, but I mean, like you two are like the top, and I go to rap. Like I said, I'm the rap sheet gang. Hashtag rap sheet. So I'm on you.
There you go.
I'm on you.
It was kind of funny before we came on, or you joined us. You tweeted out that Correa is going to the COVID list, and that was like 47 seconds before Schefter tweeted it, and we were just kind of laughing because you beat him by like 45 seconds, and we were just kind of joking around about that. So we know how like intense and how you have to break the story. So
yeah, that was like you literally just proved our point through that one tweet right there. Yep, 47 seconds, boom. Like I made the tweet.
Hey guys, I'm really sorry. Can we hold on to this?
A few moments later.
I'm back.
All right.
Awesome. Cool. Awesome.
How you doing?
Sorry about that.
Yeah,
no worries at all. You're good.
You're busy.
You're busy.
You're busy. What's a production meeting like? Like, what do you guys talk about in the like?
Oh, it was just basically like, here's the plan for today.
Gotcha.
How we're gonna kind of tee you up. What information do making sure if there's any latest information that I haven't reported yet, but I want to say on the show, what is it? Just making sure everyone's on the same page.
For sure.
Awesome.
Cool. So what was the Ian Rapoport big break?
I don't know if it was ever really one thing. Now I've been very fortunate to get some good jobs. To go from, when I was covering high schools in New York, and I applied for a job in Starkville, Mississippi to cover Mississippi State for the Jackson paper. I mean, that was, to me, like an incredibly big break. I was fortunate enough to get the job covering Alabama for the Birmingham News. And, so much of what you report on Saban is national news I think that was a great thing. And, I remember there was a job opening at the Boston Herald to cover the Patriots, and you needed NFL experience, and I didn't have any, obviously. So I wrote this long letter to the sports editors at the time explaining how I covered Nick Saban and kind of explaining how I would use that to cover Bill Belichick. And I somehow got hired. I mean, to me, like those sorts of things are great breaks rather than kind of one piece of news,
sure, Yeah, that is.
It all builds up.
Yeah.
It all builds up into
cool.
your resume, basically, and that's what made you who you are.
Yeah, and then, with the Patriots, I mean, I had a blog, and I was like relentless. I blogged constantly. So, I mean, I broke a lot of news, but I was even more so than that, just like relentless when it came to producing information. And I think just the steady stream of info and facts and blogs really helped kind of solidify me. So when NFL Network came calling kind of out of the blue, wanted to put me on TV, I was surprised. But I don't know. I think it all kind of went into one and led me to be here. It's not like there was one
right.
sort
Yeah,
of
it was
big
like
news
yeah,
break that
I got
took me
you.
here.
There was like a lot of things that just all kind of just happened, and then boom, like you got 2 million followers on Twitter, and you're everybody's
the
breaking
man,
news.
right?
Yeah. So how does that feel though?
Pretty
Like
crazy.
how does that feel to get 2 million followers on Twitter? Like, do you feel accomplished when you get to 1 million?
Not really. I mean, we did a big thing on the network when I got to 1 million. And I remember being embarrassed about it, you know?
What? Really?
Yeah, I don't know. To me, like, the job has not really changed. I mean, yes, I'm on TV, but I'm still reporting news and writing stuff out and tweeting and like I always did. I mean, the fact that it happens on TV now instead of like some video blog
Right.
or just on a regular blog or on Twitter or on a story, like it's all kind of the same. I mean, it's nice that a lot of people listen, and when you break a big story, it's great. So that's kind of cool. It also means when you make a typo on Twitter, you have more people responding to you faster.
Yes, that is true.
So that's
yeah.
not a great thing.
Yeah,
So I don't know. I mean, I've never, it's funny. Like I covered some great coaches. I've covered Nick Saban. I've covered Bill Belichick. And so what ends up happening is because you speak to them so many times, you end up kind of hearing what they say in your head. And one of the Nick Saban things is you've never arrived. And it's really true. It's like, I never feel like that. It's more kind of like, all right, whatever's the next story. Like, let's go.
Wow. So one of my last questions for this is what coach do you have probably the best relationship with, or could you say that with in the NFL? Like who's your guy? Like who's your boy? Who can you call up and be like, yep, that's my guy? Is that like revealing a source? I don't know, but
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I don't think I would do that. I mean, I think the best thing is, I'm at a good point with probably most of the head coaches and most of the GMs.
Mm-hmm.
And you sort of have to be because, look, when you report something, they're going to find out about it. I mean, you put it on Twitter, like they're going to know about it quickly. So this whole thing works much better if you can call them up beforehand and just go, hey, I'm sorry, let me take this.
A few moments later.
One of the best things is, if you report something, it's going to get out there. They're going to know, right? Because you'll tweet it. So the best way this works is if I have a good enough relationship with the head coach or the GM or both, or the team president or the owner or someone important, where I can say, hey, I'm going to report this. Like, do you want to weigh in? Is there anything I need to know? But mostly I'm just giving you a heads up. And I will do that, 99% of the time. Should be 100%, but I'll do it 99% of the time, just to make sure that everyone knows what's coming, so there's no surprises. And that's why it's good to kind of have a good relationship with these guys, because those kinds of calls help, and they get to alert people who need to know, so they can sort of prepare for it. I think that's one thing that, that's sort of why you have these relationships, is to make sure that can happen.
So who would you say to this date is the most famous person in your phone? Could you say that? Who has the most clout, like status
in Ian Rapoport's phone?
Yeah.
Oh man, I don't even know. I mean, I think most of the coaches, most of the GMs, I don't know.
Brady,
bunch of owners. Brady. Yep.
Oh yes, that's my guy. Mahomes. Don't tell me Mahomes. Please don't say Mahomes.
No, I'm not going to go list by list.
Okay, that's fine. That's okay.
By name, but
that's okay.
What really would be better would be non-football, like Paul Rudd.
Okay, sweet.
Okay, that's a really good one. Any politicians, like a president or something?
No president.
Okay.
Definitely some politicians.
Oh, that's dope. That's really cool.
I'm trying to think. You'd think I'd have a better answer to this one.
No, I mean,
I got Big Cat's number. He's pretty popular.
Oh,
that's
yeah,
our
we
guy.
might have to have a conversation.
Yeah, we'll
him.
have a conversation off there.
Yeah, we're gonna. I'll pay. Hey, we'll talk on the side for that number.
There you go.
We'll talk on the side for that.
So, how do you balance work and family? And I know we've seen on NFL Network where your kid has come in and when he was sick. You have your studio in your own house in your basement, if I'm not mistaken. Right. So, how do you balance everything with your kids, your wife, your job, being it basically 24/7? Do you even sleep? How do you do it all?
I would say the best. I mean, I work a lot, but I am lucky to work from home. Now, one thing that happens is because the studio is right here in my basement, I could go on at any time. So you sort of always have to be ready, always have to be clean shaven, always kind of have to be ready to go at all times. I can never be trashed, for instance, because could go on air.
Right.
I mean,
you have to be responsible at all times.
For sure.
Yeah.
But I think one thing I've done better is when it's time to work, it's time to work. So I'm in my office, either the door is closed, locked, or it's just closed. And the boys know, like, they will knock and see if they can come in and say hello, but they know that I'm working.
For sure.
But when I'm out of my office, I'm not working. And I've done a much better job of that recently because, like, when I'm sort of around them, but I'm still on my phone, like, that doesn't help anyone. I'm, like, barely paying attention, or I'm kind of distracted and they're, like, talking to me, but I'm not listening. Like, that doesn't help anyone.
Right.
So I would say the best thing I could do is when it's time to work, I'm in my office working. And when I'm out of my office, I'm not working. And that is the way to do it.
Nice.
That's awesome. So and on a lot of interviews that we've watched with you, we know that you're real proud of wearing your makeup, and you do a great job with your makeup.
Great job.
So was it awkward to put makeup on like the first time? Like, was it different, or like did you just kind of, hey, I know what I got to do. It's my job. I'm just gonna go for it.
I really dove right in, and I don't. There's something that's wrong with me or lost somewhere because I almost never feel embarrassed. I really don't. Like, I'm sure I'm missing some gene or something, but like, you stand up in front of all these thousands or millions of people, and you screw something up. And I almost never feel embarrassed.
Well, you real quick, you actually were like zoning out on one of the things, and I remember watching the video, and like they were like Ian, and like you were like,
I actually wasn't.
I think you. I don't know, but that was funny.
No. So I'll tell you exactly. So I sit here at my desk, and we have our. I got my earpiece right here, and you put it in, you can hear the studio, and then I have a monitor where I can see what's coming on.
Uh-huh.
And for like 45 seconds, the sound went dead and there was no monitor.
Oh, okay.
So I was waiting for the segment to start, but it had already started.
Oh,
just the audio went dead.
It was out
of sync. It was like
sync.
a technical glitch.
Okay.
So they were talking to me, thinking I could hear, and just was like zoned out. But really, like, as far as I could tell, the segment hadn't started, so I was just waiting.
Yeah.
Okay.
That was fun because
you
were
like,
yeah, you were yawning.
They were like, Earth to Ian, and I'm like, I wasn't hearing any of that.
Yeah, that was
so
hilarious.
The first thing I heard was when they kind of jumped in. They're like, "Do you hear us?" And I'm like, "What?" So that was funny.
You were like, "I was here the whole time."
I thought about correcting that, but I decided to just let it lay.
Yeah, that's just that's like a highlight right there. That's a funny moment. Like, I would add that to Ian Rapoport, like blooper, like
blooper
like,
reel. That's cool.
Real.
So we talked with Scott Hansen a couple weeks ago or last week, and we brought up like the NFL injury bug. Why is there so many injury bugs? Like the ACL is this year. Why all of a sudden are we?
What's going on? What's going on
no
right
preseason?
Now?
Like, I'm not sure if you've heard anything. I know the turf. What is it at MetLife isn't great or sticky. So have you heard anything on why players are getting injured this year, or is it just a fluke year?
Yeah, I mean, I'm not sure if it's actually more. I know 2 weeks ago it seemed like everyone, and there was several big name guys, Saquon and Nick Bosa and Solomon Thomas, but I think it's more anecdotal than anything because when you look at the actual numbers, it's about the same. Okay. I mean, I do an injury list every week, and I know like what injuries to attack and what to go after, who's going to miss practice, who's going to miss games, all that stuff. And like, for instance, week 2, when everything went crazy, it wasn't more. It was just higher profile and worse injuries.
For sure.
So I think it's more anecdotal than anything else. Now, I mean, it does seem like there are more hamstring and groin injuries than ever before. But as far as major injuries, does not seem like it's more.
For sure. Yeah, it just seems like, I mean, I don't know if you play fantasy football, but we do, and your top round picks go down, and I think you, like you said, you pay attention to it more because it's high profile guys.
I know Ian plays fantasy football, but he probably won't say it. But I know.
No, I do. I don't have any shame. No, I do.
Oh, okay, cool.
My team sucks right now, which is frustrating.
Really? Yes.
Carson's my quarterback.
Oh, you gotta drop him.
I'm in the same boat. I picked up Herbert, so I had to roll with Herbert this past week.
Yeah, you.
2 years. We have a keeper league. 2 years ago, I had the choice of either keeping Wentz or Dak.
Ooh.
And I love Dak. Like I've known him since college. Like he's a great guy. I'm a big fan. And I chose Wentz, and I've regretted it ever since.
Yeah, we were talking to Scott too. We talked about his keepers too, and he was he was not happy with his keepers as well. So
we do have a fantasy trophy right here.
Yeah.
So next year, if you're ever looking for a league, we have a fully loaded podcast league.
It's competitive.
When we become big and verified on Twitter, we definitely love to have you a part of it.
So
nice.
Yeah.
All right, I definitely won't do that. But
I knew you would say that.
I know. Hey, last thing before we go, Titans Steelers COVID. It's the first big incident that we've had. Any news, anything that you can break that says, hey, the game's going to be postponed, moved to Monday, Tuesday? I understand you got a job to do, but any news or anything on that?
Yeah, I mean, as of right now, it's either going to be Monday or Tuesday. Mike Tomlin said he thinks probably Monday. I think so too, but it just depends on what happens tomorrow with testing. I mean, if everyone comes into the Titans facility and there's more positive tests, my guess is the game is Tuesday. If they're all clear, my guess is it's probably Monday. Right. So that's still a fluid situation, but it was postponed, but just a day or two.
A couple more things for me, then I'm done. I promise. Is Michael Thomas playing? Is Kareem Hunt going to play? And are the Lions done with Kerryon Johnson? And then that's it for me.
Michael Thomas, I don't know. I know he's cleared to practice. Sounded like he looked good.
Okay.
But I was told on Saturday that they're going to be cautious. So he wants to play. He's pushing to play. I don't now know if the team is going to let him, but we will see. Kareem Hunt, that's day-to-day, so I'm not sure how he's going to feel.
Okay.
I really hone in on the injuries for game days on Friday, so we will see on Friday.
Uh-huh.
And then Kerryon Johnson, I just don't think he's the lead back anymore. I just don't think workload-wise he's going to be like that. I mean, he's more of a change-of-pace guy, and I really don't see that changing, honestly.
Yeah.
Well, as Detroit fans, we hope there's a change in regime again. Hopefully soon, a restart and a rebuild.
Yeah, no comment.
So we're very frustrated as Detroit Lions fans.
And,
you had to like that win Sunday, right?
It was great, but it just gave another segue
into the Lions
to keeping Matty P and Bob Quinn. So it just bought him a little bit more time to keep
Lions.
his job.
You know how this goes. The Lions will win the game. And
I think they're going to be okay. I really do.
Really?
Okay, really?
Maybe I'm crazy. I do.
Okay.
Just judging from the roster they put together, I think they're going to be okay.
So, do you think you think Patricia's going to be here the whole season before we go?
I think so, but obviously the results will dictate that, but I do think so.
Okay. Awesome. Thanks, Ian. We appreciate you joining us on the Fully Loaded Show. Be sure to check in at 9 a.m. on Sunday for NFL Game Day morning, and be sure to follow at Rapsheet on Twitter. And we appreciate you taking the time out of your day, and I know you're super busy. So thank you very much, and we will catch you next time. Take care.
This was a blast. Thank you.